Oh, hello everyone. I hope everyone's Thursday is going well. Everyone's doing good. Sad note today, I think it might be a bit of a shorter stream. This heat really is killing me. I cannot stand this heat, so unfortunately it might be a bit of a shorter stream, but we're going to see how I get on. I have no way of cooling down and it's horrible. So we'll see, but no, I hope everyone's day is going well. I hope everyone is doing good. I'm gonna try. We'll see. No promises. Might be a bit of a shorter one. Probably is going to be a bit of a shorter one. I'm already feeling tired already, and I haven't even done a lot all day. It's one of those days. Oh, the band is off. Oh, why is my bumpers not working? That would be why. Now it works. But yeah, I hope everyone's day is going well. Can I can. I can dual wield. Oh, but yeah. Hope everyone's day is good. Hope everyone in the UK is doing well in this heat. I am not. I am melting. If it was any hotter, I would be in a puddle of goo. I can definitely guarantee this weekend I will be absolutely hating it because I don't do well in the heat. It's going to get even hotter. I might... Oh, actually, I can just do that. Never mind, I'm going to be absolutely fine. I'm going to be absolutely fine. Oh god, I had an AC unit in the cupboard. Or did I put it in the loft? I'll get it out either way. Too hot. Hey, Daydreaming. How are you doing? I hope your week is going well. Oh god, I just wish this heat would end. I hate the summer. I don't know why people like this kind of weather. The problem is it's a slow grind. That's the problem. Is that it's not a very quick grind. It's not like yesterday I was at 2k and today I'm at 8k. It's like, no, I was at like I've been at 800, almost at 9k for like 3 weeks. It feels like horrible. But yeah, no, the heat, I don't know what it is. People rave about it. People swear it is the best. The best. I don't get it. Give me the fall. Give me the winter. Give me early spring. But no, I can't deal with this summer. Can't deal with it. It also doesn't help that the British homes are built for keeping heat in, not keeping heat out. Which is horrible. It is absolutely horrible. I just don't understand why nothing has been done with these houses. It sucks. It sucks. Summer can go and go away. And Nebula. First time encountering a forest fire. Oh, that must be scary. Glad I don't have to worry about that where I am. Hey, Janitor. I hope you're doing well. I would say I hope you're doing well in this heat, but I know this heat is kind of isolated to where... I think it might be Europe in general. Is it Europe in general? I can't imagine it is just the UK. Obviously, I am only aware that it is just in the UK. No relation to any other Pete. See, I just think you're very special, Nebula. I mean, I like the cold. I like winter. I hate the heat. I hate the summer. I hate... No, I just hate the summer. It's too hot. Like, I just can't cope with it. Luckily, I remembered I do have a portable AC unit that I will probably be putting on Saturday, because Saturday they reckon it's going to be the hottest day. It's going to be like 33 degrees Celsius, which is like, it's not even that many in Fahrenheit, but you know, it just, houses and that just heat up, so they just retain the heat so well. Over here it's a real problem. Mosquitoes? Yeah, see, I don't have to worry about mosquitoes. Which is, you know, is a good thing, but being an indoorsy person, and having this heat problem with these buildings, it's so horrible. But no, sun's out. I might as well plug in the AC unit. Get a bit of cool air going in my room. I can't cool down the whole house, but at least I can cool down my room, ready for the evening. So that's the only thing, actually. I did come across a little problem today. Saturday and Sunday as well, depending on the time that I stream. Depends on if I have to take like a 20 to 30 minute break to go and walk the dog, because it's going to be too hot during the day to walk him. It's probably not going to cool down until probably like an hour's time, so I'll probably have to take a break and then I'll have to walk him. So I do need to be aware of that. No, but see, I prefer the winter for that reason, Nebula. You don't have to put on a load of clothes, but you can always put on more clothes if you're cold. In the summer, you can't take off more clothes if you're too hot. That's what really irritates me. Like, yeah, it's the summer, it's super cool because it's so warm, and I'm just like, oh yeah, but you can't... Like, cooling down is like such a big annoying thing. You've got food banks, have expired foods. I mean, food, I'm gonna sound really old. Expiry dates on food isn't like a like a 1 minute past expiry, it's bad. Typically food is okay for a little bit after. Sometimes food goes bad before the expiry date. It's not like a set in stone thing. We used to take fun of an aunt because whenever the food would go out of date, throw it away. Like, it could be 1 second past midnight on the day it was supposedly off, she'd throw it away. No, that's true, but I'm not like a super hot drinker. My mum absolutely adores drinking tea piping hot out the kettle. I can't do it. I need my drink to cool down. So for me, winter is much better than the summer because it cools down a bit quicker. But I can't deal with the heat. We'll see how I do over the weekend. It might be that I end up figuring some stuff out. I do need to try and keep cool. Especially, because again, I don't know if I'm streaming. I could do that actually. I could stream in the afternoon on Saturday. Do like 2 p.m. or maybe 1 p.m. like just after lunch GMT, so like 5 hours before the stream started today, and go through until about 6, 7, and then end stream then. Maybe. Yeah, that's the thing though. Everything gets too hot. It's too hot. The summer is too hot. Summer is too hot. The winter for me in the UK hasn't gotten cold enough for me to be like, oh, it's too cold. Like, I really like our winter and spring. Spring, lovely. The minute it gets over 20 degrees, I start melting. And that's literally been this whole week. It's been like 20 to... I think this Saturday, is 33 degrees Celsius. I don't know what it is in freedom units, but probably only like low hundreds in the Fahrenheit. See, I think it's better playing in the winter because you warm up as you play, right? Obviously, ice is a concern, but ice is only really a concern closer to the Christmassy December-y time, right? It's not so much of a thing like November into January for the most part. Well, they're wanting to bring them back, Tyranitar. They had success with dire wolves, from what I remember, and they are working on woolly mammoths, which I find very interesting. I'm not going to get into the whole moral dilemma of is it a good thing to bring back animals that are no longer, that are extinct. And, the whole gene editing, side of things. But you can't deny the fact that it is pretty cool to think that there's dire wolves or hybrid dire wolves walking the planet. Like, oh man, there's just part of my brain that just goes, ooh, wolf, yay. Yeah, but again, I feel like the ice is a small thing to play. Obviously, yes, ice, just ice in general is just very dangerous. But But, you know, again, it is just a situation of, if you're gonna, I just prefer the time of year. Like, the benefits for me outweigh the cons in terms of winter versus summer. There's much more benefits for me in the winter than it is in the summer. That's why I studied since Liberia was never seen again until planet situation. I have no idea what that means. Planet situation? Yeah, there's a lot of things like that, though, that's kind of nice to have in the winter, but it isn't, you know, it kind of flip-flops, you know, like hot chocolates. You don't really have hot chocolates in the, you know, you don't have a really nice hot chocolate in the summer. But you typically do in the winter. You know. Like, it's kind of it's kind of one of those situations, isn't it, where there's so many pros and cons to both. But for me, I just despise summer, and the main reason for me despising the summer is just the heat. Like, that is the only reason that I prefer the winter. The autumn, I mean, even then, sometimes the autumn is unbearable as well if it's like too hot in the autumn. It is interesting. Yeah, but you can't deny it, Tyranitar. The fact that they were able to give they were able to give mice a woolly trait, so then they technically created woolly mice. That's pretty cool. And the fact that they're looking to do that for mammoths because they reckon it will stabilize. What was it? They reckon it will stabilize the I think it was Siberia, wasn't it? Is that area of it. It's interesting. Do I necessarily agree with basically pseudo Jurassic Park? No. Jurassic Park is like a warning to like not do this. So I'm surprised that they're like actively doing this. Also, hold up. I'll be right back. Oh, the permafrost, that was it. I knew it was something. I just couldn't remember what. But yeah, I remember it's being like a big warning about that. Again, I'm not like clued in on any of it as much as I probably should be. But again, you know, I'm like, ooh, it's interesting. But yeah, like, it leads the way to dinosaurs, doesn't it? Let's be real. Like, it's only going to be a matter of time until there is dinosaurs. It starts with direwolves, it goes to mammoths, it's going to end up with a dodo, and then also going to be a dinosaur. What dinosaur? I don't know. Probably something small to start with. I very much doubt they'd go like T-Rex off the bat. But I can imagine that's the way it's going to go. And it's a slippery slope, right? The whole de-extinction stuff. I mean, it's interesting. It'll probably be things like, I think like Tasmanian devil, and there's a couple of, first female. A couple of kind of animals like that is kind of important. Or that kind of went relatively recently. Oh god, I can never pronounce that word. The fake. We'll just say fake. Dinosaur hide. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say, I think it's interesting. Science has always been kind of interesting to me. I've just never been smart enough to go into the field. So I don't. So yeah, it definitely is interesting. I give it it's the future of that whole industry scares the living hell out of me. Because again, it is a slippery slope. All it takes is a couple of investors to be like, we want a dinosaur park. It's like, oh man. It only takes a few billionaires to be like, make us dinosaurs. And then we're going to end up with dinosaurs. I mean, that is also true. Yeah, that is true. DNA does play a role in it. Because that's the thing. They found some really well-preserved mammoth... I was going to say specimens, but you know what I mean? They found mammoth DNA in tar pits, from what I remember correctly, right? Like, very well-preserved, like, still got hair on them. Mammoth carcasses? I don't feel like that's still not like the correct terminology, but they were able to go back from there. Again, it would be interesting if they could do something with the dodo, but I have a feeling that if a dodo was to be brought back, we'd be farming it just like chickens. Like chicken meat would start to... Dodos would basically be the more expensive chicken meat, because all the old texts, all was like, dodo meat is absolutely delicious. Tar pits, yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember exactly. I'm gonna say I'm trying to tug on old memories of news articles that I remember hearing about. So it is definitely it's definitely an interesting subject that I just haven't gotten too into, but it's always kind of been one that I've been kind of on the outskirts of, if that makes any sense. Smilodon. Oh god, honestly I cannot remember. I know there is something similar to that, right? That is kind of that does have some species. I did not, Medi, no. No, the Palkia has been put on pause so I can do these starters. Sabertooth? Oh man. There was an episode, I remember it very much from my childhood, of Prehistoric Park, which if you don't know, I'd be surprised. It is I think it was primarily Well, no, it wasn't. I know it was hosted by Nigel Marvin. And it was like a kiddie Jurassic Park. And they did a whole episode on... I believe they did a whole episode on the Sabretooth. And it was very, very interesting. Like, it was like... incredible. It was an amazing episode. I mean, a lot of the episodes were pretty good. Like, they dealt with some quite heavy topics, like rescuing a couple of T-Rex babies after its mother got killed just before the meteor impact type thing. And you're like, wow, this was like a show for kids? Like, rewatching back it, and it's like, oh wow. Very, very interesting. You know, obviously, anatomically correct dinosaurs, probably not by today's standard, but it was still a pretty damn good show. Exactly, Tyrannosaur. Also, Ella. Hello, how are you doing? I hope your Thursday is going well. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, the megafauna. Man, woolly rhinos. I don't know what it is about woolly rhinos. I do really like them. I think they're really cool. That also is probably another thing we might end up getting. Let's be honest, if it's the same kind of genetic trait as woolly mammoths, then we're kind of like 50% of the way there to them, right? Yeah, we get all of the head scratches. We get all of the, I was going to say, benefits of domestication, but it's not quite benefits, is it? Let's be real. Animals, our pets can be a bit of a pain. But even then, you know, still cannot go wrong with that. Oh, you're fine, Basil. Don't apologise. God, no one's giving me congratulations. I'm the one who modded Hello. No one's giving me congratulations. Cave bear. Oh, cave bears are pretty cool. Cannot go wrong with cave bears. So tomorrow's going to be interesting because tomorrow is day one of Safari Week, where I will be planning on streaming for every single day next week, which is going to be fun because I haven't done that for a little while. And yeah, that's it. I've decided I'm just gonna keep the counter going from yesterday's testing. I'm only really just getting into it myself, Basil, but basically it's hunting for a full week, or in this case 9 days in the Safari Zone specifically, hoping to find shiny Pokemon. That also is probably a slightly better, more concise way of putting it. But no, today, this year is my first time trying it. I kind of got into it a little bit late last year. The problem is, I don't know if I want to keep going if I don't get anything. Because that's the thing, right? Is that do I go until I find or fail a shiny, or do I just do it for the full 8 days and then just kind of go from there? Well, that's the part of the problem with doing it, Basil, is that you do run the risk of failing them. Yeah, the Great Marsh is basically the safari zone of Sinnoh, right? Sinnoh doesn't technically have a safari zone. It has the Great Marsh. But yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. I'm hoping to find a shiny. Part of me thinks it's not going to happen, but it depends. Again, my luck has not been all that great for shinies. But I do think in total, in terms of checks, I can probably get to like 13,000, 14,000 encounters in like the standard week. Whether or not we do much more past that, I don't know. Oh, that's nice, hello. I mean, I would like to get a shiny in the marsh. I've never found one, and it would be cool. Uh-oh, stream acting wonky is never good. I will count that one up as well. That way then I won't forget it. Quickly have a drink, because this heat is killing me. I'm despising trying to sleep tonight. I do not do well in the heat. Oh no, don't worry about it, Basil. I'm going to say, I mean, the stream is here for kind of whatever you want. If you want it on the background, that's fine. If you want to interact, that's fine. If you're just lurking, that's fine. It makes no difference to me. I just appreciate people stopping by, spending some of your day listening to me ramble on about arguably nonsense. I mean, you know, the last little while has been about freaking dinosaurs. So oh yeah, that's not good. Is it just a timeline thing? I know I've had it before, Elo, where I've just been watching and then I've noticed actually I'm like 30 seconds behind, and it's literally just the playback being further back. But no, I don't know. I'm really hopeful that I can get some good shinies. I was half thinking, do I just keep the consoles running for the full week? But I also think that that's not likely going to happen. Although arguably, if Elo is like 30 seconds behind, do we try and troll Elo by being like, "Oh look, there's a shiny," when there's not? Because then it gives us 30 seconds where it's freaking out, going, "Oh, there's a shiny! Oh, there's a shiny!" And then it catches up and it's like, "No, there's not a shiny." I don't know why that was my first thought. Ooh, Bidoof. Bidoof is 100% the demigod of all Pokemon. It goes Arceus, Bidoof. Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. Now you'll be expecting it. So when it is actually shiny, you're going to be like, it's not shiny. And then it's going to be shiny. You'll be like, oh, it was shiny. They weren't lying. Man, the one thing I did see today that I was like, oh, that is interesting, is realistic Pokemon teams. So it's a case of like, what Pokemon would you go for realistically if you had a Pokemon team? Because it's like, you can't get dragons, you're not likely going to get legendaries. Like, what Pokemon would you go for? Young Goose in the cutscene in the shiny. Exactly. I would end up destroying this game if that was the case. I think I would just cause me to just break the game in half. But yeah, I was like trying to think, and I was thinking I'd probably go with like I'm a dog person, so I'd probably go with like a few dog Pokemon. Like, I'd probably end up with like Growlithe, maybe Yamper. I'd probably just end up with like a lot of dog Pokemon. But yeah, it's like I couldn't like pin together like a solid team. I might need to think about it. Like, put some serious thought into it. It's like starters, maybe if everyone got the same starters, I would maybe be like Tepig. My stream chat is behind? No. Oh, Zorua? The only problem that I have with Zorua, right, is that it's kind of a very elusive Pokemon. So, like, it's not something everyone would have. It would be very much a case of, it would be a Pokemon that very few people would have, kind of in the situation with Rotoms before Galar. You know, where they're all the devices and everything like that. Like, it was always a case of, it was very rare. And then the last few games have kind of been like Rotom everywhere, and you're like, okay. I feel like that was a retroactive change to make it so that the Rotom phones made sense. It's like, I would really like to, but it definitely feels to me like it's a rarer find. Not saying I wouldn't want one, obviously. Zorua is really cool. The only... See, I could go with like Houndour and a couple of other ones that are like that, but I think I'd just go Growlithe and Yamper. I think if I had to pick, I think Growlithe would probably be my partner Pokemon. It's just something so cool about Growlithe. You cannot go wrong with like a loyal dog. The only other one... Oh, it is technically a fox. But then if we didn't have... what is it? It's Nickit and Thievul, right? Obviously, I'm more thinking kind of Galar, because obviously the UK is technically, well, Galar. So I was kind of more thinking Pokemon found in the Sword and Shield games. Oh, really? Oh. Yeah, finding shinies. I've never found like an early one starter though. even worse than the Wally routes. See, I was kind of like, do I want to hunt for the Wally routes? Ooh, Eevee would be cool, yes. Houndour might be cool, yeah. See, because that's the thing, right? You think about it, I'm like, yeah, I love all these Pokemon, but I don't know how achievable it would be. I mean, maybe an early bird route starter, so like Starly, you know, Staraptor, you know, those kind of early route birds would probably be achievable. But like you couldn't have like a Garchomp or a Dragonite or, you know, a Druddigon, or, you know, just kind of the big dragons aren't likely. I'm not saying you couldn't, but obviously there's a lot more work involved in it, and, you know, it makes it making sense, like, geographically is also another thing as well. P-Dove, yes. Yeah, Archeops would be impossible. Exactly. Like, you, as much as I'd love the idea of a Tyrantrum. I know it physically probably actually. Hold up. No, I can't just be like, yeah, well, the UK or the fossils, might be doable. There's a place in the UK called the Jurassic Coast, so potentially I could end up with an Omanyte, but that would be like the only one that you could arguably say the fossil-wise you could have, because it is one of the more common fossils that is found along the Jurassic Coast. Is the helixy kind of design fossil. Ammonite, whatever it's called. So I could maybe wiggle my way into that, but is that one that I'm like, yeah, I really want? Probably not. And then the other thing is, does every child get a starter Pokemon like Rowlet, Litten, Puplio, or is that set for a special few? I think it's set for a special few, because otherwise we'd see every person in the anime with at least one quote-unquote starter Pokemon. So I wouldn't say starter Pokemon are like super, but if we said you were allowed one, the question is, what do you go for? Like, realistically, I'm like, I would love an Infernape. Do I think it would work? Probably not, especially not with my team composition. I'd probably have to go like Turtwig or Piplup. I'd probably end up going Piplup because Empoleon is pretty freaking sweet. Zora, Eevee, Umbreon, Houndour. Yeah, exactly. Crobat. Yeah, Crobat. Caves, bats. Yeah, no, that would work. Hey, Gal. How are you doing? I hope your week is going good. Yeah, I'm melting. It's too hot. It's too hot. It really is. I am suffering in the heat. Yeah, or Reshiram, exactly. It's like, yeah, no, I'd go with a Zekrom, I'd go with a Rayquaza. You know, let's be real. If Pokemon were real, like, I doubt there'd be like maybe one person with each of them. Again, I don't know how the logic works in the Pokemon world. Because surely if you take away the god of space, the god of time, and things like that, there's a space missing. So does the universe just birth another one? Like, or are they just physically unobtainable? Like, there's a hard code in nature, you can't get them. I'd like to think physically it's impossible to capture them. But, I mean, in terms of the anime, I'm pretty sure someone had an Articuno No, Suicune, right? Suicune was one, and Darkrai as well. They reckon it's going to be 33C here over the weekend. Yeah, I'm not going to be helping with that by any means. I will 100% be pulling out my portable AC unit and running that, because if I'm going to be shiny hunting for any amount of time, I need it to be super cool. I'm melting, Moondrop. I'm melting. It's too hot. I hope your week is going good. But yeah, so these hunts are going to be paused for at least a week. Probably until the 30th. We'll see. That and our house design LO. I mean, I don't think it's so much of a problem when you get towards Europe and Spain. Well, when you get lower, like France, Spain. But in the UK specifically, our architecture is more designed to keep the heat in than let the heat out. So our buildings hold heat incredibly well. Be the final boss of the Splatoon DLC for the 9th time. Oh, goodness. You must really like the game, Basil. It must be a really good game. Yeah. So I'm thinking Saturday, because it's going to be so hot during the day, and I need to take the dog out in the evening. My plan will be, I'm going to be doing stuff in the morning. Over a year ago, Pepperoni. Yeah, end of March, beginning of March last year. A while ago, but how are you doing? Maybe you're doing good? Yeah, it just takes about 30 to 45 minutes just to get to the boss. Oh, it's not too bad. But no, I think I'm going to do my stuff that I need to do in the morning. I've got to take the dog out early because it's going to be too hot for him throughout the day. And I've got to take the dog out again in the evening. So my original thinking was I'd start streaming normal time, have to stop for half an hour to take the dog out, and then go again. I think I'm going to change this plan in that I'm going to stream in the afternoon instead until kind of this sort of time, and then stop. So it will be like a 6-hour stream on Saturday. And then I'll probably mimic it on Sunday as well, just because it's going to be so hot. And then Monday will just be normal for the rest of the week. But that should allow us to make some pretty good resets. And we'll see. Yeah, see, that's the problem. I'm literally just going to do it in my room. I'm going to try and goad the dog into sitting in my room with me. Because obviously I'm going to be AC'd and it's literally just going to be me and him in the house. So I'm hoping that I can make him... I probably can't because he likes sunbathing. But I'll probably have the AC on for a little while and then let the dog warm up, see if the dog... get the room nice and cool, and then just kind of see how it does throughout the day. We'll see. Just finished school. Nice, Pepperoni. Oh, thank you for the luck. I'll see you again soon. Hey, Stefan. How are you doing? Hope your week is going good. I mean, I'm going to say, it's your 9th time over, Basil. I hope you're not making a huge amount of mistakes while doing it. I think so. Let me pull up the weather app. Yeah, like 3 degrees cooler. And then all next week is about the same. Too hot.
Calling it shiny at 89.69.
89. Why 89.69? Why not 89.90? I was gonna say 98. Why not 89.89? Doing good. Doing Masuda hunting for Gligar and Caranados. Ooh, they're good ones to go for. Good ones. Oh, sore legs from a bike ride. Oh man, yeah, I had to stop bike riding. Well, no, I didn't have to stop. I did stop. Nothing wrong with a good old bit of Masuda hunting. 5-ish bosses. That's not bad. Oh, finishing the start of the shiny Dex and SV. Nice. Very nice. I mean, yeah, I'm lucky in that I work inside in the during the day, so I never really notice the heat. And then obviously I get out of work and it's like melting me. Hey JGX, I'm doing okay. Could be doing better with a shiny Rowlet, but you know, well, we'll make do. We'll make do with it whenever it gives it to us. Hope you're doing well. Hope your week is going good. Yeah, it's not bike riding weather over here in Europe. That much I can say for certain. 30k, damn, that's a lot. Playing Mario Rabbids, man. I feel like that was such a cool crossover-y type situation that they've kind of not done anything with. Oh yeah, on totally legitimate hardware. Because that's what you're known for. That's what you're known for, JD. Is loving Nintendo and playing their games on you know, very expensive hardware. Oh, see, the Netherlands though is more designed for bike riding, isn't it? Or am I getting my my countries in that end of the world mixed up? I might be getting them mixed up. It is plausible. Insano style. Yeah, I've never played the games. I've always kind of seen them and I've been like, oh yeah, that seems interesting, but I've never actively played them. Netherlands is known for bikes. Ah, there you go then. Again, when it's cloudy, it's nice. When the sun is like out direct, it's bloody murder. That is also true, yeah. When it's flat, it's nice and easy. Oh wow. Those DLC, all those DLCs, JD, must have cost you an absolute fortune, since I know you love giving Nintendo money. Yeah, annoyingly, the UK isn't quite like that. UK is kind of hilly. Very hilly. It's kind of annoyingly so. I was like, yeah, I love bike riding, but there's no kind of nice, flat, long rides. At least none within decent distance. Exactly, JD. Flat farms and windmills, yeah. Have you seen, JD, that they're actively... I've seen reports of a couple of consoles, Switch 2 consoles, that have been bricked by people using... Was it the MiG? And using their own dumps of games. Like, they own the games, they have the games, they're dumped files from their actual cartridges, but they got I don't know if it was a proper hardware ban. From what I remember seeing, it was an online, like some online services might not be available ban. Which is obviously interesting. See, I do 12 kilometers and what do? I do 12 miles, so I do like 18 kilometers and I'm like actively dead. But then again, you know, I do one massive hill coming in and one massive going back. No, I unfortunately can't either, Basil. I know, I vaguely remember seeing that it was an online, like some online services might not be available, but I don't know if that's because it's EU, because as far as I remember, legally Nintendo can't brick your system in the EU, but it can in the US. So if it's EU, it might be that it's an online ban. Whereas in the US, it might be fully bricked type thing. Yeah, see, I love bike riding. We have an indoor bike, but it's not the same. Like, the resistance is not the same. It's like, it's a horrible way to exercise. To the point where I was like, either I cycle for an hour in the indoor bike, which is horrible and time just feels like it goes by so slowly, or I go out for a bike ride outside. And I always pick the go outside for a bike ride. It's just like so much nicer. It doesn't feel like an hour. That's also true, yeah. It's too hot to even worry about going abroad now. Funny enough, I've got some family on holiday now, and where they are is about 30 degrees. They've gone, I think they've gone just the other side of Rome, other side of Italy, and it's like, there's like a lot of them going on holiday, and it's like, yeah, I don't like the fact, well, no, it's like they've gone away for the heat, but it's like, it's the same heat that's here. That's also true, yeah. Nice biking on weather. I mean, I agree to that, JDX, 100%, but it's also a case of, obviously, the best practice for the Switch 2, if you are worried about it being bricked, is to not do anything that could incur the wrath of Nintendo. If you already own one, obviously. But I mean, you know, given the fact that it is it's the fastest selling console of all time, makes me, in terms of like the first to a few million sales, it is interesting. Yeah, legally they can't brick it in the EU. The bricking it, from what I remember, is a US thing. Which is why I think in the EU they block you from online services. Oh yeah, no, again, Basil. I own one. While I'm unsure about how I feel about like people dumping their saves onto a different thing and using it and getting punished for that, I think the only reason for that is obviously is that they don't know if you actively own the games, which I think is ridiculous. But yeah. Again, emulators will come. They're bound to come. It is only a matter of time. Again, it's software, right? But again, my view on it is a case of, if you don't do anything that would cause them to brick you, you don't have anything to worry about. The only time you have to worry about it is obviously if you're doing stuff outside of what they want you to do, which obviously is horrible when you consider you buy it. It should in theory be yours instead of licensing it. You know. If you use it how they want you to use it, you'll be absolutely fine and you won't run into any problems. It's when you want to do your own stuff with it. Yeah. No, that's it, JD. Yeah. But again, for 95% of people who have bought it or are going to buy it, they don't care like what Nintendo does with it, you know, what Nintendo's doing and things like that, because they're just gonna follow the guidelines, you know. 90% of it is children who want the new console and are begging their parents for the new console. But yeah, the game, like, the fact that the console uses is just not amazing. Oh, female. Oh, not shiny. I keep seeing adamant females. There's a lot. Yeah, and obviously that's a problem. Again, do I think I will mod my Switch 1? Probably not. Even though technically I can, because it is the 2017 model. It's like, you know, you can kind of just deal with it without having to mod. And if you want a console that's like the Switch 2 that you can kind of do whatever you want with, get a Steam Deck. Like, there's a lot of other options. I know people obviously aren't happy with Nintendo's way of dealing with everything, but then, you know, there are other solutions out there. There's the Xbox ROG Ally coming out that I think is going to be kind of similar. You know, you get access to all sorts of game stores. You know, you can probably mod it because it's Windows. You know, there's going to be a lot that you can do with that kind of thing. But there's plenty of other options. You know, it's like, I don't see the point personally in, I'm not going to say attacking, but being like overly aggressive with people who do what they want with their money, especially when there is so many other options out there. I mean, it's the same problem, Mr. Molecule, with the Switch 2, right? Is that the money to afford them is about the same. You know, they're all like very expensive things. And don't get me wrong, I really like the fact that Nintendo can't do anything about the 3DS. Like, the modding on the 3DS is awesome. I think it's more the principle than anything, Elo. I think it's more the principle of it. You know, it's the principle of being able to do it more so than the fact of people wanting to actively buy it to mod it. But then again, I'm no professional. You know, I have my opinion, but that is it. Also, I don't know where you are, Molecule, but you can get a Steam Deck. The LCD Steam Deck is £350, which is about, I think it's £50 cheaper than the Switch 2. I think the Switch 2 is 400. What did I pay? No, it's like 420. So yeah, definitely cheaper. But again, you know, that is for the LCD version. If you wanted the OLED version, it is 480. So a bit more than that. I mean, yeah, if you're going just for emulation, obviously, it's more, you know, the Steam Deck you can kind of use as a PC, right? The Steam Deck is kind of everything. That one. Oh no, I agree, JD. You know, if you buy it, you should have full control with what you do with it. Because it then changes. The premise behind it is it changes from ownership to them leasing you or lending you the console at like a 999-year lease type thing, right? Like, and then it just becomes, well, why are you charging so much if I don't physically own it and I am just lending it from you, you know, if you are just leasing it out. But it's exactly the same with video games, right? Video games, even in disc form, technically you don't own the video games, you're leasing or you're or what the terminology is. Even physical games, technically, I mean, obviously they can't take it away from you, but obviously like online Switch e-shops and things like that, they can take it away from you. And again, you know, at the end of the day, if you're happy with it, Basil, I see no problem with that. I see no problem with JD not being happy that people have spent money on it. The problem I have is when it goes a step further than being like, you know, how dare you, you know, when it goes to the level of how dare you spend your money on this BS. Like, just let people do what they want to do with their money. Just because you're in that realm of the whole company is horrible, it's evil, don't buy from it, doesn't mean everyone else is. You know, either let them discover it by themselves or just let them be content in their little world of feeding these big corporations wheelbarrows full of money. You know? It's let people live the life they want to live. But again, just because I buy something from a company doesn't mean I 100% agree with what the company is doing. So again, like I bought the Switch 2, it doesn't mean I 100% agree with what Nintendo is doing. Do I think Nintendo goes way too hard on fan projects, fan games, and the emulation community? Yes, 100%. But, you know, I have... You know, it's kind of like... Just, like, let people live the life they want to live. You're providing for them? Yeah, but then for every person who doesn't want to give them money, that's your choice. But, you know, taking the high ground approach of because I don't do that, so I have better priority over you. You know, I'm a better person than you because I don't spend my money on this stuff. It doesn't make you a better person for not spending your money on the stuff. Because if no one spent their money on the stuff, you wouldn't get to experience any of the things that come as a part of people spending their money on the stuff. But also, JDX, I feel like if I was on the complete opposite side of the fence, if I was solely on the side of the fence of, oh, Nintendo are amazing, oh, Nintendo are brilliant, you should always buy their stuff, you would still not be happy with my opinion, even though I'm on one side of the fence. You would be upset that I wasn't on your side of the fence. So the only way for you to be content with what I say is if I'm on your side. And that's the problem that I have, is that in that situation, there's no winning for me. Because the only way I can win, quote unquote, is if I'm on your side. And I'm not on your side. That's just the long and short of it is. I've been good. I'm good, Logan. Hope you're doing well. It has been a little while indeed. Also, yeah, I agree. I do like the Pro Controller. I was talking to my family about it the other day, and I was like, it just feels much better in my hand versus the original Pro Controller. I'm happy I got one. My Pro Controller was starting to exhibit signs of drifting, and I was like, oh no. So I was glad I managed to, well, I'm glad I bought one. Again, you know, pre-order, it's a case of, I'm glad I pre-ordered it because it was, like, sold out everywhere very quickly, I think. Like, it was very difficult to get any, like, on-shelf product, I think. Hope runs are going well. I mean, Rowlet isn't going very well. Tepig is getting there, but again, Tepig is much further behind. Catching up quite quickly, though. I'm now half worried that Tepig will overtake Rowlet at some point. And that honestly scares me. Because I really don't want that to be the case. I mean, actually, no, I hope it does, but for the sole reason that I hope that Rowlet shines, like, now, instead of, like, you know, in 12,000 resets. Or something ridiculous like that. Look, I'm back, wind drop. But yeah. GameCube's all done, everything's all set up, we're ready for tomorrow. Overlay is sorted, everything is done, so should be interesting. Do you know what I also have noticed? And this is where everyone will kind of tune out because I know not many people care about it. I find it interesting, so I like to talk about it. The views for the last stream, what was it? Tuesday, the Rowlet hunting stream. Like, that did, like, really well after the fact. Sometimes it just does, sometimes it doesn't. I don't get it. I never understand why some VODs do much better than other VODs. Funny enough, at the minute, I am testing. This will ruffle some feathers. I am testing new tags and new everything. Kind of. God, this is gonna make me sound so nerdy and desperate. Utilizing AI. So I've been chatting with ChatGPT.
Who's ready for a week of safari hunts? Hoot hoot.
Oh, I'm not. No, I am. I'm looking forward to it. I've never done a safari week, so it'll be nice to give it a go. I'm gonna probably, as I go, and by as I go, I mean Saturday. I'm gonna probably start like do like the intro to the video and get that going. So then, literally, as soon as Safari Week is over, I can get a video gone up. Oh no! Gotta go back one. I didn't mean to reset that game then. That was a mistake. That was an error. Oh well. There goes a check. Live and learn. I think, no, I was going to say, I think that's the first one. No, that's 100% not the first one that's been since I started. I've definitely done 2 or 3 like that. Oh, no. Definitely not going to do any scripts with it. No, it was more a case of I was like, what tags should I use on this video? What tag should I use on this stream? The other thing it was like is, how should I do this thumbnail? And it was like, I was like, what can I do to improve this thumbnail? And it was like, do this. So I did the stuff and it was like, yes, that's better. And I was like, oh, okay. So we'll see. We'll see how they go. I'll make polls for the community. That's, funny enough, the only reason that polls have started going back up is because I was like, I wonder. And I asked it while I was at work the other day. I was like, give me some ideas for community engagement. And it was like, you can do polls. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I have that. So, probably going to be scheduling over the next little while some polls that will be going up. Because I've got like a huge list of them. And I'm just going to schedule them to go up at the same time every day. Just every day, 12 p.m. GMT, midday, there'll be a new poll out on the community post. And I used it, funny enough, I was sitting there and I'm like, what about some ideas for some content? Just to give me a ballpark on what I can do in terms of like interactive streams. And then the one it came up with was Masuda Madness. And I was like, I'm not a fan of the title. But the whole idea behind it was you gather 50 eggs from a certain Pokemon, and every 50 eggs you rotate until you get a shiny. And I was like, ooh, that's cool. And I was like, well, how can I make this work? Well, what if I ask people their favorite Pokemon that's available in Scarlet and Violet, including all the DLCs, and then shiny hunt for, or Masuda hunt for that Pokemon? So basically it'd be like, right, well, I get 50 eggs of Zoroark, I get 50 eggs of Gibblewa, I get 50 eggs of, the starters or whatever. And then basically one stream just go through and just hatch a bunch of these eggs and just see who wins. I don't know what they'd win, but whose egg shines first. I was like, I want to start kind of like, I kind of want to get them to the point where I kind of want to do one stream either a week or a month, probably a month, where it's kind of like, right, I can take that stream and that can be turned into a video. And like, I have a rough guideline on how I could turn that stream into a video, right? So why not do something like that? But it's basically just get the ball rolling, right? I don't think I could do one a week unless I had an editor. And then it's kind of just like, I don't know if it would be worth it. I don't know if there'd be enough content to make the stream into a video. Into a good video. I think what I've got to do is I've got to do it myself before I consider getting an editor or anything like that. So then I can be like, right, this is the kind of content I'm looking for. Basically mimicking what I've done previously, but just with new stuff. Which would make it so much easier than trying to go and do it from scratch and just be like, I want a video from this, make a video from this. So we'll see. Then you have both in a dream ball. Ooh, I don't know if I've got any in any special balls. So if you wanted me to hunt one of those, I could definitely do that. Hello. It's like I was trying to make a video out. I was trying to make a short out from the Pokemon cards stuff that we did with the miscut cards, and I just couldn't make it work. I'm sitting there and I'm going, it doesn't work. I'm not happy with it, so then I just ended up not doing anything with it. I don't know if I've got any in any special balls. I'm just trying to think. No, I don't think so. But no, so I will say there is the community poll asking, there's the community post even, although I think it's now just called posts, asking what your favorite Pokemon is in Scarlet and Violet and including in the DLCs. So if you want to get your Pokemon on that list of ones that I'll be hunting, definitely comment under that. And I will be working on that over the next little while. Just trying to think. I mean, 300 eggs, I think I can do in a stream hatching. So if I streamed a little bit longer, I reckon we could do 500. So like 10 people. And then just as a starting one, we'll kind of just go from there. If you want variants like Hisuians or please do give them an Everstone. I mean, it's not me. Right, it's more a case of if you're like Hisuian Zorua, then so long as I know that that is the case. Like if you put in the comment, for example, Hisuian Zorua, you need to use an Everstone on Zorua type thing, then that way I know to do that. So, you know, I might throw in one of my Pokemon on the first one. So it's like at the minute we got Meowscarada, so a Sprig, and Espathra. So I was like, okay, I can work with that. And then obviously, yeah, it's cool now just posts. And I mean, it's just a question what everyone's favorite Pokemon is in the DLC. That's it. Oh, well, including the DLCs. So, it can be any Pokemon available in the game. Non-legendary, because obviously you can't Masuda hunt legendaries. Which is interesting. Well, obviously it is just another situation, so but yeah, that was more a case of I think I'm gonna do something with that and then go from there. Whoa, how random is that, Elo? I did indeed. I got a little notification. No, I didn't get a notification. Normally YouTube notifies me when there's a comment. Actually, it hasn't. It knows that there's a comment. It's showing me 5 comments. It just hasn't told me that there's a new comment yet. Ah, there you go. There you go. Now I see it. 50 seconds ago. YouTube hasn't even caught up to the fact that it's happened yet. Yeah. We can sort that out as well. If you want it, well, I guess if I get it in a specific ball. Again, I mean, it's literally that it's just like 50. I'll probably do 100 eggs of each. And then probably just cycle through it. Again, what my thinking is, I kind of want to move a bit away from these kind of static streams, because while these streams I like, they're easy streams for me to do. Let's be honest, there's not a huge amount of content that happens in these streams, you know? And in terms of like me wanting to try and make videos, I think it would just be easier if I just had a stream that was really interesting that I could just kind of cut down into a 10-minute video, you know? Where it's like, oh, cool, you know. Pete got a 10-minute video out from his stream this week. Go through there. See, I feel like, well, I mean, eventually both of these screens will be doing playthroughs or other shiny hunts. See, because that's the thing, is that That's my eventual plan. The Wednesday streams, which will be happening as of the next month, will be semi-playthrough. There'll be shiny badge quest for Heart Gold. I've already done the first gym and 2 shiny Pokemon. However, I've decided to make it a race and rematch my brother in terms of hunting for shinies. So we haven't done it. It's been like 10 years since, well, 9 years I think, since we did our last shiny battle, shiny race, whatever you want to call it. So this is the rematch, and I'm hoping if I get his permission, I'll also try and make a video out from that as well. But that will be like a stream. That'll be a stream thing that goes on for a little while until then. But it's like kind of like an in between hunt. You know, it's like an in between extra little thing. Because again, it's gonna be part of a bigger video. But, you know, in terms of just like being its own individual thing, it's kind of like it's 2 birds with 1 stone. Again, same with the Salamence. So the Salamence that I want to do in Ultra Moon is going to be an interesting one that I think I'll do a separate video on. But it's going to be, obviously, it's going to be a part of the Ultra Moon run. So, I think the next thing I'm going to do is I've got footage that is well over 2 years old of me doing a shiny only playthrough on Violet, which I did 2 years ago, 2023 I think I did it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and edit that down into a video that will be an unlisted video on the channel. And what the plan is with that is you'll have to be in the Discord, but I will post the link in the Discord when that's done. And then if you want to watch it, watch it. I'm not expecting it to be amazing. I don't think anyone's going to want to watch a Switch 1 horribly audio recorded playthrough of Violet in 2025. But maybe people would, and then I can just publish it live. I'm not dead set on it, like being a public video, but that I'm hoping gets me the idea for then these 2 runs, and then I know how to edit the video and kind of do it for these 2 runs. And then future runs as well, you know, for the Shiny Badge Quest video, it gives me a good idea on what to do for that as well. So there's a lot of kind of cross stuff that can happen. And again, I've got all the footage for the Scarlet and Violet one, so for the Violet playthrough, so I don't need any of that. I half had a script together as well, which I think is actively still on my Google Docs. Let's see, Google Docs. Shiny Badge Quest, no. PLA Nuzlocke, no. Shiny Badge Quest rules. Hide and seek rules. 3DS capture. Hardcore Violet Nuzlocke. There we go. So that was last edited, I think it was 2023, like May 2023. Whoops. So yeah, I've been sitting on the footage for that for a really long time. It's been not amazing. That's also true. Yeah, they might do... I doubt they'll do any quite this soon, but it might be interesting if they do a decal console. Breeders Aura, give it an Everstone so you can't mess it up. Good. Want a special nickname on it? It's up to you, Elo. It's good to you. You're going to be the only person, most likely, who I will be accepting the Pokemon from. So if you want to give it a nickname, give it a nickname. Just obviously nothing like mega rude. Would be the one thing. Obviously, I can change the nickname if I'm not happy with it or if I do think it's rude, but like, just don't give me a swear in another language that I don't understand, and make it relatively easy to pronounce, because it's going to be difficult. If I'm gonna have to say it a bit, I don't want it to be too difficult. Again, I think my goal is going to be 100 eggs. I don't know, because that's the problem. 100 eggs only gives me... It would be, what, like a 1 in 5? It'd only take me like... Yeah, it'd still be 1/5 of the way to technically full odds. So I'll probably have to cycle through a load of eggs. That's my only problem. Let me read the idea that it gave me for it. Yeah, Masuda method hunt only, but you must switch the target every 50 eggs. And I'm like, okay, that's fine and all, but not for the hatch, just the breeder. Oh yeah, no. I could say I'm not too worried about the time, because again, the idea is that we cycle through them. Again, I just feel like 50 eggs is just a bit short, but then given the time it takes to hatch them, maybe 50 eggs is the idea. Wind and Waves, I have no idea what the next games could be. I'll be honest, I'm not at all thinking about Gen 10 yet. We know most likely that Gen 10 is going to be next year for the 30th anniversary. It is the 30th anniversary next year, right? Like, it is been that long. So I think it's going to be a little while. I don't know if I'm going to bother with it immediately. Man, it depends what like this next half of the year is like. If I do end up making, you know, let's say 6-7 videos that all do better than I think they're going to do, then I'll be happy and I might consider getting it. If they kind of fall flat and I kind of lose the love of playing and shiny hunting, I probably won't bother getting them. That I think is where I'm sitting at with that, unfortunately, is that it's going to be it's either I'm going to love it or I'm going to hate it. Now, I was not going to go. I wasn't going to go for the full to get to 9,000 today. But given that I'm like 20 resets away and I'm not going to be hunting Tepig or Rowlet for a while, I think I might just push through and try and get to 9k. Part of me really doesn't want to, but I think I've kind of got to. Hey Dom, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope the heat isn't melting you too badly. But I do kind of like Elo's idea of just a chill shiny hunting weekend. Obviously mine won't be nearly as chill as I'd like. I'm quad hunting all next week, so I say funny enough, the only thing on this stream that I used the the AI for was the stream title. I was like, make this stream title better. And this was the title it came up with. So I'm going to see how well it does after the fact, but again, I very much think the stream titles don't matter all that much. You know, if people want to watch the stream, they'll click it no matter what the title or the thumbnail is. There's not been a single person who's come in who's like, I've clicked on the stream because of your title, or I clicked on your stream because of your awesome thumbnail. So I'm like, part of me is like, I don't really care about that. I think it's more a case of people are like, oh, YouTube recommended your channel and I saw you were live, so I clicked it. And it's never a case of like, people love the thumbnail or anything like that. Like, it's overly captivating. So, you know, while people, you know, like Mr. Beast and that swear that titles and thumbnails are the most important thing, I think it helps. But for like live streaming, I don't think it matters as much as people would like to think. Did I count that up? Yes, I did. That is fine.
I clicked the video cause I love suffering through Rowlet resets.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do. Hot Wheels announced some more Tara's animation stuff. Cool. Cool. Who we got? Damn flies. Mini Martin from Animation Station, Atlas, and Kelly Blue. Ooh. New stuff for you to spend money on, Dom. New stuff to make you really want to do it. Hey, really want to spend your money. They really want to get your money out from you. I was just reading through this script and I'm thinking, my God, I don't want to record using this script. Like, I'm reading it and I'm like, okay, maybe not. That's the one thing that I find I struggle with most is like following a script. I can't stand it. Like, the minute I can sit here and I can talk to quote unquote chat with no problems, the minute that I stop streaming and I try and record, I find that I just go stiff and I just don't like what I do, and I record like 7 or 8 takes and I'm just never happy with what I do. I think what I need to start doing is just being like, right, I'm going to spend 5 minutes every stream doing an intro for a video that might or might not happen, and then that way I can be happy when it actually comes to editing. Because I always despise it. It's like Safari Week. I'm half like, do I try and make an intro for Safari Week on day 1? Talk like you're yelling at a friend. Well, part of me was like, do I just ask someone, I was more thinking family, just to sit in a Discord? They don't have to talk or anything, but just so I can see that they're in Discord and muted, and then talk and just be like, yeah, I'm like explaining it to them. I mean, both work, Jacket. Both work. I mean, I would have to turn down the audio a bit, and that would make it even more awkward, because I always feel quite nervous, even sitting at home. I mean, I'm sitting at home now, but like in the evenings, I'm always worried that I'm being too loud, and that I'm like, can like my brother hear what I'm talking about and hear me just rambling? So I'm always like, I don't want to record voiceover because I'm like, it's going to sound weird and no one's going to like, but then I also need to just get over myself and be like, no one cares that much about you, you know? No one cares what you do and things like that. So I think I just need to get over that kind of awkward stage of I'm not quite there for voiceover, but I feel better streaming. You know, like if you compare this stream versus the first stream that I did the voiceover with, I'm definitely much better. Granted, that was 2 years ago, so I'd hope so. But it is just a situation of like, the scripts that I write are very rigid, and when I'm writing them, I like to follow them. And then I just end up the streams are just me rambling. And I can ramble all day. But rambling is very different to trying to actually structure like a video. It's like there's an art to script writing that is... Oh, wait, no, damn, I did so much. I just scrolled down. There's like a few thousand words here. There's 2 pages in this Google Doc of me writing a script for this video. Man, past Pete put in a load of work on this video. But that's the problem. I don't feel like oh god, this is gonna sound really sad. I feel like I don't have many friends that I'm like, yeah, they'd really like to listen to me ramble about shiny hunting on Pokemon. And that's a brand new subline. Tartarus Animations RC. RC toy? Oh, is it like a big RC toy or a little RC toy? Because I have seen some of those, what are they called? The drift RC cars that you get and you can kind of drift them on the desk. And I was like, part of me was like, man, the inner child within me is like, yeah, I want one. Not for anything like mega, it's just one of those things. I'm just like, yeah, I'd like it. Exactly. That's the thing, right, Elo? Is that I can stream fine. It's just recording the voiceover that gets me. Which is why I was like, right, if I set aside a stream where I literally either, while we're shiny hunting for like Safari Week, just try and just get like a video intro done for that video and just be like, kind of like the typical, over-the-top YouTuber, hey guys, I'm Pete, and this is me shiny hunting Safari Week type thing. Or do I try and do it off-stream where it's more, hey guys, I'm Pete, and I'm, I find that I'm more, I don't know if that's the correct term. I feel like I'm more fluid / natural when streaming versus when I'm sitting down recording. I think I just need to like chill a bit. Making a 124 scale and a 164. I see the 164 micro RC range. Oh man, micro RC cards are really cool. We used to have a long time ago. We used to have an RC petrol powered RC car. I vaguely remember we had a couple of RC cars. They were pretty cool. I did really like them. Never actively got to use them, but I did like them. It was very cool. And I think we had a couple of other ones, but I never actively got to use them. So many can star boxes. That is cool. You can't go wrong with that. Zorua has been hatched. Ooh, good. I'm gonna say, it's gonna be a little while, so keep it. And we'll probably look at doing it. I mean, Monday Masuda Madness kind of works quite well, no? That would be the 30th. Because Safari Week, I think, ends on the 29th. So whether we straight end it on the 29th, it depends if I've got a shiny or not. Or whether we try and continue it until I get a shiny, I don't know. Hey, Burrow. How are you doing? Hope your week is going well. Hope you're doing good. Masuda Madness Monday, exactly. Monday Madness Masuda. Yeah, there's some combination there that would work. That was my thinking. Whether I'll actively do it or not, I don't know. And it might take a little while to get everything done, so we'll see. But no, I hope everyone's enjoying their Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Friday is my favorite day of the week for 2 reasons. 1, it's the end of the week. I love it. 2, It's Friday. You can't go wrong with a Friday. I'll be honest. I've not done any real work for the past 2 days. Like, we've been quiet. So I'm kind of like, I'm kind of looking forward to tomorrow because it's also more just not doing a lot. And then next week is a week of not doing a lot. After 4 or 5 months of just, you know, cranking out orders, it's a little bit chill. And I'm like, yep, that's good. Week's been good. Yes, good. Also have a turbo button. Turbo button? Damn, that's insane. An RC card turbo button. That is cool. Cannot go wrong with that. I will say, I do think I need to do a little bit more work on the Safari Week overlay. I'm going to work on putting in some, hiding some shiny Pokemon. Got an Everstone and fresh from an egg. Just let you know when I'd like him. Yeah, we'll sort it out. We'll sort it out. Don't you worry. I will do it. I mean, it's probably not going to be on the 30th. It's probably going to be the week after the 30th, just because then that gives me a week to get everything sorted and whatnot. Might even do like a stream. Oh no! Oh, that sucks. I just thought I'm busy on the 29th. And I'm going out on the 28th. So the last 2 days of Safari Week are going to be evening streams, which sucks. Odds for shiny starters again. In Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, Rowlet hunting is 1 in 4,096. In Black 2, where the Tepig is, it's 1 in 8,192. To the Hot Wheels RC Turbo Buggy Nitrox bottle, you have to pull back. Oh, that is interesting. I remember there was an RC car that I kind of always wanted but never got. It was the wall riding one that would kind of ride on walls and then also kind of go on the ceiling as well. This is why I shouldn't be allowed adult money, because I'm like, I want to buy those and then moon shoes. Never had... Oh, no, Heelys. Heelys was the thing that I was like, I want Heelys. And I said to my parents, I was like, I'm thinking of getting me some new shoes. And they're like, oh, what shoes were you thinking of getting? And I was like, Heelys. And my dad was like, he gave that look of kind of like, are you insane? And I was like, well, you know, I could use new shoes. Plus, they come with wheels. Air hogs, was that it? It was something like that. Yeah, the Finn McMahon. I was going to say McMahon. No, it's McMissile. That was really interesting. I just thought, well, no, I didn't think. I saw something the other day that was like, Cars 1, story about racing. Cars 2, story about saving the world. Cars 3, story about racing. And I was like, oh yeah. It was a really weird way of them going about they had like an identity crisis in the second movie, and then the third movie they kind of went, actually no, it's about racing. Very interesting. He's like Pikachu. Leroy is probably Raichu. Could be. Yeah, Leroy. God, I can never remember all of the stuff from all of the experiments from Lilo and Stitch. He was the one that could grow quite big, right? I can never remember. Well done. Well, well done. Congratulations. Congratulations, Stefan. Welcome in, Dino. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good week. Hope your week is going well. Hope you're enjoying it. I wish it was that easy to summon it, Burrow. I wish it was that easy. Oh, faster and stronger than Stitch. I'm gonna say, obviously, the whole point was that Stitch was like the strongest that they'd made. Obviously, it makes sense that one that would come after would be even stronger. Uh-oh. Whoa. They always had Disney Cars RC many years ago. Nowadays, they release them under Jada. Oh, makes sense. Makes sense that they were trying to consolidate. Oh yes, Ruben. I remember Ruben. He was the yellowy orangey one, right? I remember seeing a clip of him with Gantu, and he was going to eat the sandwich sign or something like that. Favorite Pokemon game? I really like. I'm going to be odd. I'm going to say Rangers. I really like Rangers. Ruben would be the Nene. It's no use asking me, Tyranitar. I have very little knowledge on anything outside of Stitch. Huggable Pokemon. I would say Machamp, Octillery, Unbound. No, I changed my mind. Unbound Hooper, because he has the most arms. I think he has 6 arms, doesn't he? If we're going objectively, for me, I mean, you know, a Gibble, you can't go wrong with a Gibble. Or Growlithe, Arcanine, Ninetales. Ninetales might be a pretty cool shout as well. Oh, I don't, Dom, unfortunately. Oh, the Elvis Pikachu, man! I loved the outfits, the whole kind of subclass of Pikachus that were the dressed up Pikachus. I thought they were pretty cool. But yeah, that was pretty cool. That's the also. Yeah, I completely forgot. I've booked tickets for a card show next weekend, so it's gonna be fun. Hisuian. Ooh, Hisuian versus regular. I think regular would be more huggable than Hisui, because Hisui is technically a ghost. I feel like a lot of people weren't happy with it, with the Lilo and Stitch. However, I do think a lot of people have been happy with the How to Train Your Dragon remake. And the How to Train Your Dragon one was made cheaper than the animated, and apparently is doing really, really well in terms of like reception from fans. Which is interesting, because my kind of thinking was like a shot-for-shot remake is kind of what people want with live action, right? Like a little bit different, but ideally you want the same story beats and you want everything the same. And I think that's the kind of problem that people have had with the Disney live action, is that they haven't done that. Like, they've changed the story, they've tweaked the story, they've tried to modernize it, and it's kind of like, people don't want that. Like, people want the original story, but just kind of live action. I've yet to see it, but I've heard good things. Same but slightly altered ending. Yeah, things like that is fine. You know, but like Lilo and Stitch, I really liked Stitch. I thought Stitch looked amazing. Obviously, he was always going to because it's the same voice actor and they put a lot of effort into him and he is their marketing for that movie. I thought, from what I saw, Lilo was very well cast and she seemed like she was really, really good in the role. But again, I feel like script writing changes kind of let that story down a bit. I think if I ever want to watch Lilo and Stitch, I think I'm just going to watch the original. I don't think I'd go live action. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. I think the story let it down a bit. And they were so pushy on the whole advertising. Like, I haven't seen that much advertising for Mission Impossible. But I feel like if I was going to go see a movie, it would have most likely have been Mission Impossible. Very huggable. Oh man, I don't know why, Elo. I feel like if they did a life-size Zorua plush, you would have like 10 of them. It's like if I had a thing for the evolutions, if Eevee and the evolutions were my favorite Pokemon, I would definitely have bought the full-size evolution plush. I almost bought the Lucario one. But I didn't. I held myself back, so... I really do like the shiny Zoruas. Both Hisui and normal. I do think they're pretty cool. Occupy your bed too much. I mean, that's like a really good problem to have, though. No, it's not 69, 89. That sucks. Oh, really? I'm guessing they don't make them anymore, Dom. I'm guessing it's kind of like an old one. Man, I will say... Oh, okay, hold on. Tailing back to our conversation from earlier of Pokemon that you could have like logistic, in real life and it makes sense. Could I get away with an Aggron or a Tyranitar? Like, does that make sense? Considering my original plan was like Growlithe and Yamper, could I get away with a Tyranitar as well? Maybe also an Aggron, because from what I remember, Larvitar is like a relatively rare spawn. I feel like I would also end up with a Starly, probably a Staraptor. Did I press B? No, I didn't. Good. Oh, since the range was produced from 2004 to 2006. Oh, they didn't have them for very long then. Oh, yes, they could have done. That could be the reason, Tyranitar. Like, I'd like to think I could have an Aggron. It just looks so cool. As again, I was like Bastiodon, Caranados, cool, but you couldn't logistically have them in real life. But Growlithe, maybe Vulpix, but then I'm just ending up with a lot of like fire type dog foxy Pokemon, you know? Tyrantrum, the ultimate dinosaur. I would have one. I love Tyrantrum. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. I just really want a shiny one, and it just doesn't want to shine for me. I think Fossil Week, which if you don't know is a week of hunting fossil Pokemon, very much similar to Safari Week, but obviously for fossil Pokemon. I might pick up Rampardos. And then... I don't know. Can I do X? I could do X and Y alongside Platinum as well, which could be also pretty cool. Well, that's why I think, hello, if I was allowed a starter, I would go in Polion, Piplup, because then Piplup could put out the fires caused by all my fire types. You name a Pokemon, does it save? Does it save? Not if I reset the game, it doesn't, Puro. No, I'd have to do it every single time. Hence why none of these Pokemon are getting nicknames. Well, the Rowlet can, and the other ones can't. Oh, really? For the 40th anniversary? Wow, it's been going a long time. Rocky Scout design would fit with the King of Pocket Monsters. It would. It definitely does, though. I was thinking what I'll do is if I'm going to do like a realistic Pokemon team for me specifically, what I think I'd have to do is I'd have to go through the Galar region and just see what Pokemon are there and then just try and go and pick Pokemon that are specifically in the Galar region. I understand I'm lucky in that regard because obviously, you know, it is based on the UK, so it's probably most likely the kind of Pokemon you would see here, but we'll see. See what kind of team I could make. That's why I kind of think Yamper. Because Yamper definitely does. Growlithe, I think it is in the game, but I could be mistaken. Memory serves correctly, I think it is. Could be pretty cool. Could have been cool, Tyranitar. Get a Politoed, yes. Something like that. It's Arcanine top 10 most favorite original 151. It's definitely in the top 10. But I don't know if it's my favorite. Oh, really? That is interesting, Dom. So you've got a lot of stuff you can collect. You know all the lore. All the lore with all the stuff. Probably have a Yamper and a Rockruff. Oh, Rockruff is pretty cool though. Yeah, Yamper, Rockruff. I'd probably end up with Yamper, Rockruff, Growlithe. If I'm having a water type, would probably be... I feel like if I couldn't have Piplup, I think I would go Politoed. Just because I need something that could maybe put out fires. And then if I went Route 1 early starter, I'd probably, you know, Route 1 bird, I'd probably go Starly. And do have that on the team. Yeah, that is also true. But I don't know if I'd evolve them. That's the thing, right? Like, if you're having them just as pets, right, you'd probably end up with, like, you know, maybe one or two. Like, some families have, like, 3 or 4 dogs, but most families only have 1 dog, right? So you'd end up with one Pokemon as your family pet for the most part, right? Like if I wasn't a trainer. So I'd probably say we'd end up with... It's probably going to say a Magikarp. I feel like I'd probably have a Magikarp. Like a pond with Magikarp in it. You'd probably end up with Poliwags in there. And maybe one dog Pokemon, and I think I'd probably end up wanting to go with Growlithe. Well, not only would it not be a Magikarp, though, I don't think it would be around anymore. Because if it could just fly away, which we know Gyarados can technically fly, we see it in Legends Arceus, for example, it would just fly away and that would be it. What was the Magikarp? There was a Magikarp short episode that was basically a kid and his Magikarp. I feel like that would be me. Exactly. I think it's very well rounded, Elo. I think it would be difficult to manage, but definitely think it could be an interesting situation nonetheless. We don't know. We don't know yet, Tyranitar. We'll see when the games come out. Oh, really? Oh, goodness. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Isn't Umbreon more cat-like? I think all the evolutions past Eevee are probably more cat-like. In my unprofessional opinion. Still pet-sized. Oh yeah, 100% still pet-sized. But yeah, I would say it's more cat. Yeah, there are pains, but how often do you really use Gimmighoul? Like, did you get one, other than for the sake of completing the Pokedex, did you ever really use it? I never did, so Zoroark's got to pay rent at that point. Yeah, exactly. Going around speaking. Exactly. Also made a radio-controlled Herbie. I mean, I want an actual Herbie. I don't know about a radio-controlled one. This is a problem. I keep perusing Facebook Marketplace. And every so often, I see a obtainably priced Volkswagen Beetle. And I keep seeing the old Beetles. They need work. Don't get me wrong. But it's like, ooh, they're decently priced. And I keep going, ooh, do I buy one? Do I buy one? See, but I feel like you've got to be realistic, right? Like, if you're not a trainer, how many Pokemon are you realistically going to have? Like, how many people in the anime do we see that aren't battling but have one Pokemon companion? So here's the question, right? If you could only pick one Pokemon companion in the whole Pokemon like universe, whatever, what Pokemon would you pick and why? Keep in mind, let's try and keep it realistic. It's like, oh, I would have Rayquaza, wouldn't work. Like Dragonite probably wouldn't work, you know. Like realistic. Try and keep it semi-realistic. You know, maybe a full evolution of a starter bird, you know, an early route Pokemon. Well, that's the thing, Puro, right? Score Bunny, technically, is a gift from the professor, right? For students going out and being for going out on your adventure. So you wouldn't get one unless you were technically a trainer. I think for me would be Growlithe. Wormpod. Oh, Wormpod is a cool shout. It's a very cool shout. It's one of those Pokemon that I think many people wouldn't necessarily go for, but I do think it is pretty cool. Goddesspot is also, I'm probably mispronouncing that because I never mispronounce it, but Hop had a wild Score Bunny. Okay. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it would be a rare occurrence. So it would be very difficult. Like, it's in the realm of possibility. Again, it's like Dratini or Dragonite or anything like that. You know, a relatively rare-ish type thing. Not impossible, but you got to imagine trying to keep it under control. I think I would go Arcanine. I think I would go Growlithe Arcanine. For the sole purpose of, one, it's a loyal animal. And two, if it was an Arcanine, you could ride it around. And it must be relatively common because they use it as a police enforcement animal. So I think that's a good shout. Obviously, evolving it is a different story because obviously I imagine Firestones aren't cheap. Hisui or normal. I mean, it would have to be normal because let's be realistic here. Hisui are like extinct, so... Oh, Siri thought I was talking to it. But I do think, other than that situation, I think Growlithe would be pretty cool. A loyal dog. Are they really? I mean, it makes sense, kind of. Does it make sense? Probably not. Alright, we've got 5 more resets today. You travel to get your hands on a Zero. Well, that's the thing. Like, I'd travel to get my hands on, if I could, Larvitar, you know? But again, it's not one of those that's useful around the house. Like a Piplup. I love a Piplup. Empoleon, I feel like it's the most useful to have around the house out of all of the Sinnoh starters. Because while it is tall, it's not that huge, right? It's not as big as Torterra, and it's not as on fire as Infernape. And while I love Torterra and while I love Chimchar and Turtwig, I think if you're keeping them in the lower... When thinking of that situation, you kind of have to think of the Pokemon throughout its evolutionary chain, right? Like, it's all well and good being like, yeah, I'd pick Turtwig, but what happens if Turtwig evolves? And then you've got a Grottle, and then what happens if Grottle evolves, and then your Torterra can't get in the house? So, I think for me, I'd have to go a dog-type Pokemon. Yamper Bolthound is another potential option. Maybe Dashhound could be another good one. Bayleaf isn't bad. Chikorita's not the worst. Ooh, could be Tyranitar. I don't know enough about the whole line. I feel like Chikorita wouldn't be a bad choice either. Meganium, I mean, would be a pain to take care of because it is a big flower, but I mean, it's a big dinosaur flower. I mean, you can't go wrong with it though, can you? Alrighty, we're getting into 9,000 today. 4 more checks on Rowlet. What are you doing? Definitely didn't press home. What about Froakie? Again, the starters are really, the starters are the obvious choice. But my problem with that is we only, in the games, apart from Legends Arceus, we only ever get one of the starter Pokemon, unless you breed. Like, you don't see them out in the wild. You see other trainers with them, which makes me think they're kind of limited to being given to them by professors. Again, not impossible to have, but it's not like everyone has a starter Pokemon. So, never quite sure. Again, for me, I don't think I'd go with a starter Pokemon as my first choice. You know, like an in-game starter Pokemon is my first choice. No, Alan, I just really like these cutscenes, so I'm just watching them over and over and over again. Do you reckon that came off in a good sarcastic way or a bad sarcastic way? People would 100% have big breeding schemes for certain Pokemon breeds. Oh yeah, 100%. Like Growlithe, 100%. Because again, it's just like a dog, right? Or Eevee. No, I could see an Eevee breeding ring being a thing. Like an Eevee breeding ring where it's like, I have the best Espeon. It's it's one of those. But I hope you're doing well, Alan. I hope your week is going good.
I sure love meeting Pete 9,000 times. Hoot
Yeah.
hoot.
Yeah, everyone would be overly ecstatic to meet me 9,000 times. You'd all be lucky. You'd all be lucky. "29 years since the first Pokemon, and they didn't even code Growlithe. They even code Growl move to Growlithe. Oh, Growlithe didn't have Growl. I mean, Pokemon don't have moves entirely based on their names, right? Hydrapple doesn't have Hydro Pump. Or does it? Oh, female. Oh, 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 oh. He's being picked up and sat back down. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, bird, and then it's not shiny. I pick it up and it's the animation playing in forward, and then if it's not shiny, it's the animation playing in reverse, and it's me just basically putting it back down. I mean, if it was shiny, it would only be picked up once. Instead, it's almost been 9,000 checks. But yeah, so tomorrow I might try and start streaming earlier. I think 6 p.m. GMT. So about half an hour earlier than I started today. Just so I can start making progress in Safari Week. Or continue making progress, because I'm just gonna continue the counter from yesterday's. Oh, congratulations, Alan. He just wants cuddles? Yeah, he does. Look, cuddly bird. Nidoking not made for hugging. That's true. I'd love a Nidoking, but again, you couldn't have a Nidoking because it takes so much to evolve it, right? Like, you could have a Nidorino, but you couldn't get a Nidoking just because of the fact it requires a mood stone and all of that. That whole situation. Right, two more Rowlet. I'm gonna get to 9,000 and then stop for today because I need to go and cool down a bit before I try and go to sleep because it's just too warm. Too warm, too hot. Pete is not built for the heat. Pete is built for the cold. Oh, it could be. Yeah, I didn't think about that. God, I really loved the sub scene, Vegeta and Bulma scene. I thought they did a really good job with that. I saw the sub getting around all over the place, when that was originally coming out, and then they did the sub, and I thought they did such a wonderful job with it. I was like, yep, I like it. And I'm not even like a diehard Dragon Ball fan. I've seen like 15 episodes of the original series. That's it. I've seen more in Dragon Ball clips than I've actively seen sitting down and watching Dragon Ball. Just had a funny mental image here. Roku bringing home prey like a cat, but it's your neighbor's due to this. Oh, it's your neighbor. It's your neighbor's Pokemon, or it's your neighbor. Like, is it a kid from down the street, or is it like a neighbor's Pokemon? Because I feel like it bringing back like a person. I mean, yeah. Quite hilarious. The whole trainer, a 10-year-old kid, yeah. Can you imagine that talk with the parent? God, you'd get Nurse Jenny on your ass so quickly. Can you imagine trying to explain that to the law enforcement? Just like, oh no, sorry officer. My Pokemon just stole the child. I want to return it to its parent. Unfortunately, Tyranitar, as much as I'd love to get into the in-depth conversation about all of Dragon Ball and all of Daima and its canon nature, I just don't know enough about it, and half of it is going over my head. As much as I'd love to be like, yeah, I know everything. If we're streaming on Wednesdays and I'm doing the game with my brother, that's when you want to come in and talk about that stuff, because he loves Dragon Ball. He's a Dragon Ball nerd. Me, on the other hand, I know diddly squat. Well, do you know what would be even? I was gonna say even awesomer. That's not a word. You know what would be also freaking awesome is dual shinies at the same time. You know, I keep thinking what I need to do is I need to start being like, you know, hey guys, if you enjoy the streams, why not leave a like? But then I'm also like, do people care about that? Like, you know, my whole philosophy with that has been, if people enjoy the streams, they'll just leave a like anyway. I don't see the need to ask people to like the stream, as much as it does help the stream. Yeah, I keep forgetting the name of the grass bird as well. Roku is a free run Roku. He needs this mental exercise, sir. Yes, officer, I know. This is the kid from next door. Yeah, exactly. No, I just really, just with that image, I can just imagine Roku sitting in the bushes, or sitting behind like a bush, but the bush is like twice the size of the... Roku is like twice the size of the
bush. Like the video or I will be shiny after 10k.
Oh god, could you imagine? And you can like see it behind the bush, and it's just sitting there, just like stalking this kid, and the kid knows it's there because you can see it. And it's sitting there, and it's not hidden by the bush at all, but it thinks it's hidden by the bush because it is a big cat and it doesn't know its size. Oh, so I should probably check this Rowlet, shouldn't I? Not shiny. 9,000. 9,000 checks. Still not shiny. That sucks. Do you know what sucks even more? Is that this hunt is going on pause for like a week and a half. because it's going to be a while until I get back to it, which sucks. Also, Pikachu sprite from the original is a fairy sprite. Oh, is it really? That's interesting. Either way, we'll leave it there. Save the interesting stuff for tomorrow, because tomorrow's stream will be going on a bit longer because of the fact. Oh, you mean the middle evolution? Yeah, save it for tomorrow because tomorrow will be quad hunting. And then we'll be doing Safari Week because that starts tomorrow. We'll be doing that until next Sunday. Next Sunday will be the last one. So the 30th will be when I start back up normal hunting. So if you want to see Rowlet and Tepig hunting again, probably come back on the 30th. Because for the next week, I'm literally going to be sitting in a bush. I'm going to be sitting in the safari zone, just jumping on my bike, just bunny hopping until either we get a shiny or I fail a shiny. So we'll see. Either way, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Thank you very much for those of you who did like the stream. Again, never needed, greatly appreciated. It does do something with the algorithm, apparently. I don't know. I don't care. I just appreciate you all being here and spending time with me here this evening. Yeah, sitting, brushing a Roku would definitely be interesting. Any of them would be interesting, mind you. But yeah. Either way, that is me done. Yeah, so tomorrow we're starting Safari Week. We'll see. Should get a few thousand encounters done tomorrow, so if we're lucky, we might even see a shiny on day 1. But I don't think we will, so we'll see. But no, thank you very much for hanging out. I'll see you all later. Let's go now. All right, bye, 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 bye.